Okay, got that set up. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. No, I apologize for missing yesterday. I wasn't feeling well, but not out of the woods today either. But feel a lot better than what I did. So we are gonna come and get a show in today, man. Oh yeah, let me thank you all of you who messaged me to check up on me, text me and checked up on me. Man, y'all are amazing. I appreciate you so much. You didn't have to, and you did it anyway. And for those people who did reach out to me to check up on me and send me well wishes that were feeling bad yourself, I pray that you all feel better. I pray that you all get well soon, just as well, and hopefully sooner rather than later. Hey, good morning, Angel. How you doing? How you doing, Bestie? Thank you for coming in the live. We're gonna try to get through it today. We're gonna try to see what we can do here. Oh yeah, and shout out to uh, the staff and the crew over at Tayretta Vision Films. I enjoyed the shoot, man. We had an awesome time, amazing time filming Saturday. In addition to that, we want to give some respect and shout out to um, Whistleblower for Justice organization. Talking with JoJo. Hey, bestie, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it. How are you doing, love? As well, I want to give a shout out, respect, and love to the Tyson's Foundation as well. I was speaking about them earlier to Bestie, and I don't give them credit, and I need to do that more often. It's a great foundation. I mean, and it's very meaningful. So I want to do that as well. I'm feeling better, Bestie. Talking with JoJo says I'm good. How are you feeling? I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better, but we still got some fighting to do, but we gonna do it. We gonna do it, bestie. In fact, if I could, I would do a commercial like this.
Today's show is brought to you by Ginger Chews and Ginger Ale.
If I could do that. If I could do that. If I could do commercials, I would do that. Oh, love the stickers. I love the stickers. Thank you, talking with JoJo. Love it. Love it. All right, listen. So we're gonna do 3 segments today. We're gonna try our best to get through 3 segments today. Oh, and Bessie, I missed you so much too, Jenny. I missed you, and thank you for checking up on me, texting, and staying on me. I appreciate you for that. We're gonna try to do 3 segments, and this first one I'm gonna open up with. It's kind of it's. Oh, thank you so much, talking with JoJo for the Night Star. That was beautiful. Thank you. That was beautiful, Bestie. Thank you. This particular segment is it hits home to me because it involves the world of pro wrestling, and those that know me, that's what I used to do for 26 years, pro wrestling. So we're going to talk about it because there's this promotion that's well known, well known, but the past few years it's been going on longer than that, but the past few years the person who was the owner of it got in a lot of trouble because some things came out, right? And dealing of the SA nature and things of that nature. So let me ask you all this. Have you ever heard the saying birds of a feather flock together? Just put a one in the live if you have heard of that. Birds of a feather flock together. Okay. Okay, Jenny has. Do you all believe that to be true? Or how about we'll just do a broad? In most cases, do you find that to be true? That birds of a feather flock together? For the reason, and there's a reason I'm asking that because Angel said yes. Okay. Okay. The reason why I asked that, Jenny said yes, is because we have, okay, remember I was telling you all about the owner of this prominent pro wrestling promotion? Well, he is best friends, and in fact, he's even
yes.
he
You were
even
just about
had.
to tell me about the owner of that prominent pro
Hold
wrestling
on, sorry,
promotion.
y'all, my thing clicked up. In fact, he's friends with the guy that is pretender in chief in the president's house. Hey, Jessalyn, she says, good morning. Feeling better? Yes, feeling a lot better, but still a little icky, you know, but that's all right. We're gonna make it through. We're going to try to make it through. The pretender in chief that's in the president's house in Washington has the same thing about him. He's got this thing to where is a unhealthy fascination with his daughter. You know, Cheetolini is what I like to call it. But he has, to me, no man should view his daughter in that way or feel like it. I don't care. I have beautiful daughters, but I never view my daughters or see my daughters in a sexual manner. Like that's nasty. That's crazy. And I know I said we don't judge here, but there's some things you know you just it does itself, right? So what we're gonna do, I want you to pay attention as we're gonna start this first segment, and this is it's pertaining to the owner of that prominent pro wrestling promotion. His daughter, the headline. First of all, the source created is Fight Talk, and the title is I don't know if I can say her name, but so I'm gonna say his daughter apologizes in court and snitch on her father. So we're gonna put it like that. Thank you for that heart, me Angel. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I miss Liz, how you doing? Okay, let me get that for you. Hold on. All right, people. Liz says, "Hey, just need a few more followers on this account so I can do boxes until my main is unrestricted." So if you all can go and follow Liz.2.01. Let's help her out. Let's help her get to that goal so she can come back up in the panel. She's good people. She's good people.
Stephanie and Vince McMahon have always had a, let's just say, weird dynamic. If you've ever watched WWE during the Ruthless Aggression era, you probably remember some moments that made you go, wait, did that really happen?
Yeah, I'll think about it.
But things just got a whole lot weirder ever since the explosive lawsuit hit the courts, accusing Vince McMahon of trafficking and worse. Stephanie McMahon has finally had enough. After years of silence, covering for the family brand and standing by her father through every scandal imaginable, she's now apologizing and doing the unthinkable. She's snitching on her dad.
So it's been my whole life. And when I was in high school was when my dad was indicted by the federal government.
And what she reveals might just destroy the legacy Vince spent 40 years building. Stephanie McMahon breaks her silence. For decades, Vince McMahon projected an image of ruthless authority both on screen and behind the scenes. His daughter Stephanie grew up in this unique environment, eventually becoming an integral part of the WWE machine, both as an on-screen performer and executive. But recent allegations have cast a shadow over this wrestling dynasty that even their well-oiled PR machine couldn't deflect. In January 2024, former WE employee Janelle Grant filed a shocking lawsuit that accused Vince McMahon of sexual trafficking, assault,
We love
and using
TikTok
Grant
Shop.
as a pawn to secure talent deals with prospective wrestlers. The lawsuit, filed in the U.S. District Court for the District of Connecticut, named not only McMahon, but also former head of talent relations John Laurinaitis and WWE itself as defendants. The allegations were deeply disturbing. Grant claimed that McMahon forced her into a sexual relationship
We love
to
TikTok
maintain
Shop.
her employment and used WWE resources to traffic her to others. The lawsuit alleged violations of the Trafficking Victims Prevention Act civil battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. But this wasn't the first time McMahon had faced such accusations. Back in 2006, McMahon was accused of groping a tanning salon employee in Boca
Good morning,
Raton,
Deb. How you
Florida,
feeling,
during
Bessie?
Royal Rumble weekend. According to reports, McMahon allegedly showed her nude photos unprompted and forcibly groped her in a tanning booth. When confronted about his behavior, he reportedly said he was only trying to have some fun. Even earlier, in 1992, former WWF referee Rita Chatterton alleged that McMahon had raped her in 1986,
We love TikTok. Stop.
establishing a troubling pattern of allegations spanning decades. Stephanie McMahon, who has spent her entire life in the wrestling business, has had a complicated relationship
Thank
with
you,
these
Bessie. Yeah, I'm feeling
controversies.
better.
In a January 2025 interview on the Pat McAfee Show, she addressed the long-standing public scrutiny her family has faced, particularly during her father's legal troubles. The media came after my family in a really big and really hard way. I think at that time I was filled with a lot of anger and resentment. She noted that she now views such criticism as just noise, grounding herself in her own beliefs and understanding of her family's position. This perspective didn't come.
Now, I'm going to pause right there for a minute just to catch up on a couple of things because there's some people they mentioned you all may not know. For instance, the laryngitis guy. He's actually, those of you who follow wrestling, I don't know how many people in here actually follow pro wrestling, but for the ones that do, you all know the Bella twins. Well, he is their stepfather. Okay. Now, another thing about this is the same lady. Hey, good morning, Marie. How you doing? Yes. She said, good morning. Glad you're feeling better. Yes, I am. I'm trying to get better. Oh, yeah, not anymore. You're right, Angel. Not anymore. He's not. And rightfully so. He's not their stepdad anymore. But and I guess you all can see kind of why that's not such a bad idea for their mom to not be with him anymore. But also, the lady that is over our head of what is it? The education. She's married to this guy who owned that pro wrestling promotion, and I don't know if I guess he doesn't own it now, but she said that was a quick divorce. Hey, do you ever think? Yeah, Department of Education. Thank you so much, Angel. Yes, that's what it is. She's over that, and this is what we have. This is what we have going on behind the work. This is where she comes from. Now, I haven't heard of her doing anything like this, but I don't think she didn't know what was going on. And that's just my personal opinion. And that comes from even being in the world of pro wrestling. Let me tell you, there's just things that go on. We'd have to put that on a Patreon or something. We definitely can't say it here. We can't say it here because Liz said quicker than a Kardashian divorce. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Angel said Stephanie knew. I bet she did. I have no doubt she had to. Brittany said, hey, good morning, Brittany. How you doing? Brittany says it's not nice. No, it's not. It's not at all. It's not at all. And some of the things that he was doing or having females do in order to get what we call a push in the industry, and I'm probably going to take some heat for this, but I'm going to say it. Not all, but a lot of women get treated bad in the industry. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say like what would cause that. I don't know, but and for the ones that don't, like, I hope that they really, really help those others that's not fortunate enough to have the voice that they have. I hope they look out for them. I really do. Angel says, I've seen a lot of court stuff, and there's no way she didn't know. Yeah, there's absolutely no way. All of them. I'm going to say all of them. There's no way that all of them couldn't have known. There's just no way. Talking with JoJo says they sure do. They had to,
Her father was indicted by the federal government in the early 1990s steroid scandal. While he was ultimately acquitted, the experience clearly left its mark on the younger McMahon.
The So it's been my whole life. And when I was in high school was when my dad was indicted by the federal government. And the media came after my family in a really big and really hard way to deal with when we were in high school. And I think at that time I was filled with a lot of anger and resentment. And I had a hard time, navigating all of that.
While she has steadfastly defended the family business in public, behind the scenes, there are indications she may have had
Says he always
significant
looks like
concerns
he
about her
doesn't
father's
know
conduct,
where
concerns
or
that
who
eventually
he
led
is.
to actions that speak
Agree?
louder than words. The dynamics of the McMahon family have
Angel
always
said,
been
plus the
complicated,
Ashley
with
case.
the line
I'll
between
never
their
believe
on-screen
Stephanie
characters
again.
and real-life
Facts.
personas often blurring. In one particularly troubling instance revealed in a 2024 Netflix docuseries,
Brittany said,
Vince
remove
McMahon
me.
disclosed that he once proposed
Yeah,
a storyline where his
nobody
character
wants to
would
go
be
through that at
revealed
all.
as the father of Stephanie's unborn child. Stephanie reportedly found the idea disgusting and firmly rejected it.
Okay, now let's just stop right there, because this is where I compared him to the pretender in chief that's in the president's house up in Washington. People, I've been a wrestler and I've been a promoter of my own promotion. And so I know what it is to write storylines and angles. There is no, I don't know if y'all heard it, but he wanted to run an angle to where his own daughter, no, you heard me right.
His own daughter was pregnant by him.
How in the world that's completely out of the realm of any storyline or angle I ever would have written. Like, what makes the mind even go there? Like, with your child? Like, and I get it. I know what people say. Wrestling's not real. Yada yada yada. All of that. How in the world do you even play or whatever come up with an angle like that? Angel said, and when she said no, Vince suggested his son to be the father. See, sick. Isn't that sick, Angel? Like, come on. Whose mind could actually go there? Brittany said, it's a cousin. Jessica says, if he does it with his child, he more than likely does it to other children. That part, you would think. And we're gonna get to the end of it, and this has been going on for longer than just now. No, I get what you're saying. No, it's not funny, Brittany. I get what you're saying. It's not funny. You don't, you know, but at the same time, it's like, I think you were saying that out of, not from a comedic place, but more so out of a, like, it's asinine to even think about something like that. How does the mind, what? So, yeah, I get where you coming from on that, Brittany. I do. Everybody say, hey, to Brittany.
One of the few known instances where she directly opposed her father's creative vision. This proposed incestuous storyline, while never implemented, offers a disturbing glimpse into the mindset of Vince McMahon and the boundaries he was willing to push, even when it involved his own daughter. It also highlights the challenging position Stephanie occupied, having to navigate
I've
both
never
her
known you to
role
lie,
as a
Brittany.
beautiful daughter and as a professional in an industry
I've never
where
known you to lie.
exploitation has often been normalized. The Grant lawsuit,
You've always
however,
called things like
represents
it
a
is.
significant escalation from previous controversies. The allegations are both serious and detailed, painting a picture of systematic abuse of power and exploitation. According to the lawsuit, McMahon met Grant when she was living in his building and struggling to find employment. Despite her lack of corporate experience, he allegedly offered her a job in exchange for sexual favors, paying her approximately $200,000 per year plus lavish gifts. The job Grant received was allegedly a fake position called Administrative Coordinator, where she had little actual work to do and instead spent her time sending McMahon explicit photos and videos. The gifts McMahon allegedly gave Grant were extensive, including alternative medical care, WrestleMania tickets, private transportation, expensive gift cards, jewelry, a brand new BMW, spa certificates, and regular.
Okay, guys.
And so once again, we see he preyed on her. I mean, basically because she stayed in the building, or that he, had a place in or something, they said, and he knew that she was in need of a job or a better job or whatnot. And look what he took advantage of her. And people, I don't know who all know, but if in the event you've all followed this story and know, this man used to defecate on her while graping her and SAing her, like, oh, this.
Darker turn when Grant was coerced into sexual encounters with other
love
men at
TikTok
McMahon's
Shop.
direction, including John Laurinaitis, and, according to amended filings, arrangements involving WWE superstar Brock Lesnar. As these allegations
Jenny.
emerged, WWE's corporate structure
Right,
was
Jenny.
undergoing significant changes, with Stephanie McMahon playing a pivotal role. To understand these dynamics, we need to look at how the company's leadership evolved during this tumultuous period. In June 2022, WWE's board began investigating a $3 million hush money payment that McMahon had made to a woman with whom he'd allegedly had an affair. This investigation ultimately uncovered that McMahon had paid a total of $12 million to 4 different women over the years to silence allegations of sexual misconduct.
We love
During
TikTok
this
Shop.
investigation, board members Manjit Singh and Ignace Lahoud considered resigning. Stephanie McMahon, then on a leave of absence but still a board member, reportedly persuaded them to remain, utilizing voicemails and emails to communicate her position. Subsequently, she assumed the roles of interim CEO and chairwoman after her father's resignation in July 2022.
Brittany
This
says, "I'm
move
sorry.
positioned
This
Stephanie
went
as
left."
a stabilizing force during
Yeah.
a time of crisis, stepping into leadership when the company needed direction.
Jenny says
However, her
Vince
tenure
was
would
a
be short-lived.
puffy
In
jacket of
January
wrestling.
2023,
Great analysis.
Vince McMahon reinstated himself to WWE's
Liz says
board,
he takes
leading to
advantage of
Stephanie
women in
McMahon's
desperate
resignation from her
situations.
executive
I love to be
positions.
alone with him for 5
Stephanie
minutes.
McMahon's
I know that's
resignation.
right, Liz. I know that's right. Give him
McMahon's
what he deserved.
resignation, following her father's return to the WWE board in January 2023, raised eyebrows throughout the industry. Her departure was interpreted by some, including former WWE host Matt Camp, as indicative of internal disagreements regarding her father's return. Camp remarked that Stephanie's exit told me a lot about the human being, where his own family was like, yeah, see you later. This sentiment suggests that Stephanie's resignation wasn't merely a corporate reshuffling, but potentially a moral stance against her father's return, amid serious allegations. What did Stephanie know about her father's alleged misconduct? According to legal filings, quite a bit. Grant's lawsuit indicated that Stephanie had knowledge of other instances of her father's sexual misconduct.
We love
This
TikTok Shop.
allegation suggests that Vince's behavior may have been an open secret within the highest levels of WWE management, including among family members. There's historical evidence to support this notion. Former WWE creative member Christy Joseph recalled that during a 2006 meeting, Stephanie McMahon was notably upset upon learning of allegations against her father, leading to an abrupt end to their discussion. D. Joseph noted, "I think Stephanie was really upset." This recollection suggests that while Stephanie may have been aware of her father's inappropriate behavior,
Pause. We're gonna go with what Angel said. We're not gonna say she might have known. I just don't. I think she knew. I'm agreeing with Angel on that. Jenny says, why wasn't Stephanie protective of her staff, especially women, if she knew of his behavior? Grand question, Bestie. Grand question. And that's why I was saying earlier, like, when there's women in the industry that can stand up for themselves, speak up for themselves, and don't allow themselves to be treated that way, I pray. I'm not in the industry no more, but I pray that they go and put a sheltering arm or protecting arm around the women who don't, and just keep them, out of that situation. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Unfortunately, a lot of women won't do that in the business, and they'll go along with it. And they'll put the woman, the other female wrestler, in the same position. Unfortunately, that happens. They don't want to lose their position.
she wasn't necessarily comfortable with it. The emotional reaction described by D. Joseph indicates genuine distress rather than casual acceptance. After stepping away from her executive position, Stephanie maintained a low profile for some time before gradually returning to the public eye. In a January 2025 interview, she acknowledged wanting to disappear for a little while, saying, "I needed it, and now I'm back." This period of withdrawal coincided with the increased scrutiny of her father and the WWE corporate culture. Meanwhile, the Grant lawsuit lawsuit continued to evolve, with new and disturbing allegations coming to light. In January 2025, an amended complaint filed in the U.S. District Court for the District of Connecticut dropped a bombshell by naming one of WWE's biggest stars, Brock Lesnar. The amended complaint alleged that McMahon had offered Grant to Lesnar for sex in 2021
TikTok
and
Shop.
demanded she create personalized sexual content
We love
for him
TikTok
to
Shop.
secure his contract renewal with WWE. The allegations specifically claim that McMahon shared explicit photos and videos of Grant with Lesnar, with one instance describing a planned sexual encounter in Connecticut
love
that didn't
TikTok
occur
Shop.
because Lesnar was too intoxicated or there were weather-related travel.
Oh, look, hold on. Why isn't Vince locked up? There's evidence. He's taking money from the company. They have the evidence of him sending the pictures. Why is he not locked up? Angel said because no criminal charges were filed. Why not? You know, why not? And so Janelle they didn't settle with money? Okay. Angel said he settled with the money part. Okay. All right. Jess Ann says maybe they are acquiring more on him. Donnell says Street Fighter. Donnell Shaw said Street Fighter. Donnell Shaw said Operation Agent. I don't know. I don't know.
So really, good morning first.
Good morning. How's it going?
It's going. So there's like a couple different parts going on with this case. So the money part, I think it's the FCC has already like settled with him to where he paid off all the money that he owed back to the company, but his lawyer made a boo-boo somewhere. And I can't remember like exactly where everything was on pause. But the last time I saw the report that those settlements that he paid out to the ladies were fixed, like they were completed. Like he fixed the big charges against like the government was after him portion. So I think it's the FCC that was doing all the investigation. The Janelle Grant part, they dropped something yesterday that said she's trying to file a motion to proceed forth, and nothing's been finished on that side of it yet. But Linda is part of it still because the Ring Boy scandal back from the 90s, that's been brought back up. So she's still in a lot of trouble with that too. That has not been settled. The other referee that they talked about, that one was settled either this year or last year again.
The BLK referee?
Yes.
Okay.
The lady.
Okay. That's what. I think we're gonna get into that too.
Yeah, so the reason that so with the Janelle Grant case, it's still up in the air whether or not they'll file criminal charges. So it's depending upon what she's going to do, because I think she's pursuing it as far as she can go to keep opening the door for more evidence to come out, and where they actually have to disclose it on like his side, because they've been trying to stop her, and she's amended her last amendment for her court case. I want to say it was like the end of January, middle of February when they dropped it. And that had the layouts of the entire office, the reconstruction of the office, where Triple H's office was, where John Laurinaitis' office was, and who signed it, who signed all the paperwork, which showed that like Nick Khan knew. So like it opened everything. Like they submitted like everything, like the entire layout from like scratch.
So she definitely has evidence.
Yeah, she has evidence of like who knew and everything. So they're dropping all of that. So I think, I want to say like February was the last time like they had dropped a new amendment. And I think it was like the end of January, and then it was released like February, I want to say. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So I think she's pursuing it as far as she can go. And then depending on The evidence like for the SA part is
Mhm.
when we'll know like whether or not criminal charges will come. But I think they're trying to keep it civil because if it goes criminal, Cheeto Man can pardon him. But
Exactly.
he
His
can't
best
pardon
bud.
him for federal stuff. So I don't know where the sex trafficking portion of it will come into play. If that goes federal, then he can't pardon it. If it goes just basic criminal, then obviously he can.
Well, let's pray that they keep it federal because we don't want him
Yeah.
to get off on anything.
Yeah. And Stephanie knew. I
I
don't
believe
want
that.
like she knew. And it goes all the way back to the Ashley case and what happened overseas.
Ashley, now hold on. What happened overseas? Is that the one?
Ashley Massaro. I hope I said her last name right. So she
That-
was a diva. She was back in
Mhm.
the diva eras. She was. So they did the tour. I can't remember if it was Kuwait or if it was in Afghanistan. I want to say Kuwait. Did the troops tour, and I want to say, oh, my dates might be off, but I want to say like somewhere between 2010 and 2016. I can't remember exactly the dates. But she was raped over there.
Mhm.
By
morning, Georgia Peach.
by a military doctor.
Oh.
She informed people, and Vince and the entire crew hushed it up. And it did a lot of damage to her. One, because she was hugged, meaning add a DR to it. And it's a really, really sad case. And she dealt with it for years, trying to get some type of justice. People obviously didn't believe her. She was fired, released from them, and didn't really receive any guidance at all. So if you find her case, her daughter has spoken out. I want to say she spoke out 2024. And Ashley's, when her daughter has used her words, so-called best friend came out, tried telling her mom's story, and her daughter was like, no, like, this isn't right. You're using it for fame and clout. Like, you need to stop talking about it. So yeah, I'm very careful on that word. So her daughter came out and tried to tell the real side of what happened. And unfortunately, we lost Ashley I want to say somewhere between 2018 and now. I want to say maybe by like 2022, she passed on. She unalived herself.
I was
because
just
of
about to
everything.
ask you. I was just about to
Yeah,
ask
I
you.
can't remember the exact date or the year she passed on, but it's really sad. And the thing, I saw the comment where like, if Stephanie knew, why didn't she say something, or why didn't she speak out? Because of China. Because it would basically air her dirty laundry out. It's putting it nicely. It would definitely air her dirty laundry out. So yeah, but that's the big case that me and like Will Gray, I'm hoping like when he's ready, we will talk about it, because he wants a woman's perspective on it. And since I've been through something similar, I'll be happy to. But yeah, that's the big thing, is Vince didn't want to lose the military contract, so that's why he swept that one under the rug.
Man, listen, he deserves. Listen, he should. I want it to stay federal so he can face all of. I know we're not supposed to wish bad on anyone, but I'm just saying this is going on long.
Civil for now, but yeah, I'm definitely crossing my fingers for federal.
All right, I'm with you on that, Angel. I appreciate that. You gonna hang out up here with me?
I can. If you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer. So yeah, absolutely, I can. And if not, you can drop me. Thank you.
Either way, it doesn't matter. Thank you.
Travel issues. According to the lawsuit, Vince told Grant that offering her to Lesnar was part of the deal in their contract negotiations. When McMahon allegedly informed Lesnar of this arrangement, Lesnar reportedly responded, "LOL, that's your turf. She will be ruined. After me and leave your ass." Plus, after me, your tool won't fit anymore, followed by laughing emojis. This response suggests Lesnar may have been uncomfortable with McMahon's offer and was trying to deflect by joking about it. However, Grant claimed that after this exchange, Lesnar directly messaged her asking for a video of her urinating, which she provided. This allegation directly implicated Lesnar in inappropriate communication with Grant, though it's important to note that Lesnar is not listed as a defendant in the lawsuit, meaning he's not being sued directly. The allegations involving Lesnar had immediate repercussions for the former WWE and UFC champion. His last WWE appearance was in 2023, and his involvement in these allegations led to his exclusion from events like the Royal Rumble in early 2025. Some reports suggest that WWE is waiting for the legal situation to blow over before considering his return, indicating that the company recognizes the serious nature of these allegations. Fan reactions to
Okay, I was
Lesnar's
wondering why
involvement
he
have been
got
polarized.
yanked.
On social media platforms like X, formerly Twitter, some fans expressed strong disapproval, with one user hoping that
We use the Spectrum Savings Calculator.
We got a commercial. So that's okay. That makes sense as to why Brock was came back and left so abruptly.
and Laurinaitis would rot in hell. Another fan stated, "I used to love him as the Beast, but now, nah, I'm done. Can't support someone involved in this mess," indicating a shift in allegiance due to these allegations. Some fans have even called for boycotts of WWE over Lesnar's involvement, showing the potential impact on the company's reputation and bottom line. However, not all fans are convinced of Lesnar's culpability. On Reddit, some users defended Lesnar, noting that he has been married to former WWE wrestler Sable for around 20 years, and suggesting that he might not have been aware of the criminal nature of McMahon's actions. The inclusion of Lesnar in the lawsuit represents a significant escalation, bringing in one of WWE's most recognizable and commercially successful stars. It also expands the scope of the allegations, suggesting that McMahon's alleged exploitation of Grant extended to using her as leverage in business negotiations with top talent. Let's now look at the financial aspects of the case, particularly the hush money payments and the eventual breakdown of the agreement between McMahon and Grant. According to the lawsuit, the inappropriate relationship between McMahon and Grant lasted from approximately 2019 to 2022. Around 2022, McMahon allegedly told Grant that his wife had discovered their affair and that Grant needed to leave WWE immediately, as her position had been created.
Just remember, people. Oh, okay, Angel. Okay, all right, Bessie, I'll be here for you. Look, she remember, Linda McMahon over the Department of Education right now. This is where she come from. Pay attention, people. This is where she come from. How many other people that is in that cabinet have SA charges against them? And she don't have them against her per se, but she knew what was going on.
Solely for the purpose of facilitating their sexual relationship. In an attempt to keep the situation quiet, McMahon offered Grant $1 million to sign a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. However, Grant reportedly countered with a request for $3 million, citing loss of earning potential. McMahon agreed to this amount, with the payment structure consisting of $1 million upfront and $500,000 every 6 months until the full
she's
$3
part of the
million
problem.
was paid. As part of this agreement, McMahon allegedly
You got that
instructed
right,
Grant
Rap
to
God.
continue appeasing Lesnar if he messaged her. Grant claims she continued to send explicit content to Lesnar, and there were plans for him to fly in and have sex with her, though this never happened due to weather conditions.
I agree,
After
Jess,
the
man.
initial $1 million
Hush money
payment
should
was
be an
made,
admission
news
of
broke
guilt.
about
I
McMahon's
totally
various
agree.
NDAs with multiple women who
That
had
should
worked
not
at WWE.
allow you to get
In the
away.
wake of this publicity, McMahon stopped making the remaining payments to Grant, paying only the initial $1 million of the agreed-upon $3 million. This breach of their agreement is likely one of the factors that led Grant to file her lawsuit in January 2024. The financial implications of this scandal extend beyond the payments to Grant. In January 2025, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, announced that McMahon had agreed to pay a $400,000 fine and reimburse $1.3 million to WWE for failing to disclose non-disclosure agreements. Specifically, McMahon had failed to disclose a 2019 payment of $7.5 million and the 2022 payment of $3 million, raising questions about financial transparency and corporate governance at WWE. In May
Okay, so take that. Take that. So now he's taking money from the company's account and paying these women to keep quiet, to continuously go along with his heinous actions and stuff. So when they found that out, why it, man, I just, is there such thing as justice anymore?
2024, Grant agreed to pause her lawsuit for 6 months at the request of the U.S. Department of Justice, pending a federal investigation. This stay was lifted in December 2024, allowing the case to proceed. In early 2025, Grant's attorneys filed motions to amend the complaint, which is when Lesnar was officially named. As of March 2025, Grant
Rap
filed
God
a
said they had not
reply,
been living
brief
together over
opposing
10
efforts
years.
by
It was
McMahon,
reported
WWE,
when
and Laurinaitis to block the amended complaint. She
About
argued that
Chicago,
new
it went
developments,
away.
including the SEC findings against McMahon for failing to disclose hush money payments, should be considered in the case. The defendants, however, are pushing for private arbitration, citing the January 2022 NDA with the $1
Rap God said, not
million
under this
payment,
president.
which
Isn't that
grants
right?
team contests.
Facts,
Judge
brother.
Sarah F. Russell is expected to decide whether to allow the amended
Jenny said
complaint
it's
or
a
proceed
form
with
of
the
money
original.
laundering.
Stephanie's
Right.
quiet exit may
And
have
shouldn't that
started
be
as
a
a personal
charge?
retreat, but it ultimately became a turning point, one that set the stage for a deeper unraveling of Vince McMahon's empire and forced WWE into the most turbulent transition in its history, the post-Vince era. The allegations against Vince McMahon didn't emerge in a vacuum, but were part of a troubling pattern that spans decades. His history of alleged misconduct dates back to at least 1992, when former WWF referee Rita Chatterton alleged that he had raped her in 1986.
We love
Combined
TikTok
with
Shop.
the 2006 tanning salon incident and the recent allegations by Grant, a consistent pattern of behavior emerges over a long period. Beyond these specific allegations of sexual misconduct, McMahon has faced various other
Trish, they just showed you in the video where he was kissing you on stage. Now I know storylines, I know Angle, but Trish, I want to know if Trish Stratus had to go through any of this. That's one of my favorite of all time, and I wonder if she had to go through this, if she had to endure this.
other controversies throughout his career. In the early 1990s, he was indicted on charges of conspiracy to distribute steroids following the conviction of Dr. George Zahorian, who had supplied steroids to WWE wrestlers. Although McMahon was acquitted
I don't
in
think she will either,
1994,
Angel. I
the
think she's gonna
scandal
keep it to
cast
her
a
vest
shadow over the company
because she
and raised
still
questions
benefit.
about
I mean,
his
look how they
leadership
still
and
push her.
ethics. There have also been allegations that
Sickening,
McMahon
man.
covered up for wrestlers involved in serious misconduct. For example, he allegedly told Steve Austin's then-wife Deborah not to discuss domestic violence charges publicly in the late 1990s. Additionally, McMahon has been
Hey,
criticized
good morning,
for
Sharita. How you
creative
doing, Bessie?
decisions that many found disturbing or exploitative, such as a 2006 live TV segment involving Edge and Lita that wrestlers opposed, but McMahon pushed forward with to boost ratings. Another recent legal battle involving McMahon is a 2024 case.
And now, and Angel, you helped me through here too. Now, but see, now the reason why that angle right there between Edge and Lita was so crazy is because she actually cheated on Matt Hardy. They were in a relationship. Matt was injured and away from the business for a while, rehabbing, recuperating, whatnot. And Lita and Edge did their thing. And then to add insult to injury, to throw the proverbial salt in the wound, Vinnie Mac thought it was a good idea to have them play out this sexual scene on TV. Now, people, this goes on in the industry. I've told you all this before. There's times where I've been at shows where a man could be in the ring wrestling, and his wife is in the back, outside in the parking lot, in the back in the car, getting her back blown out by another wrestler. So this stuff goes on, but I'm talking about as far as the whole cheating thing and stuff like that. But this right here, this is wild. This is wild.
in Maryland, alleging that WWE enabled the sexual exploitation of young boys in the 1980s and 1990s. This lawsuit, while separate from Grant's allegations, further
Facts,
contributes to the
God.
picture of a company
Facts.
where
Yeah.
misconduct was
Hope
allegedly
Bowley-
tolerated or
Bowley
even facilitated
saved
under McMahon's
his story
leadership.
behind-
The Grant
saved
lawsuit
his-
had
mhm.
immediate and significant
Behind-
consequences for WWE's corporate
I don't know if I can
structure.
say
Vince
that,
McMahon,
but the
who had
Roy,
returned
we'll
as
say Roy,
executive chairman of TKO
charged
Group,
back in the day,
formed
yeah.
by WWE's merger with UFC in September 2023, was forced to resign from that position in January 2024, following Grant's filing. This represented a definitive end to his official involvement with the company he had built over 4 decades. Current WWE leadership, particularly Paul Triple H Levesque, Stephanie's husband, who is now effectively the creative head of the company, has been criticized for his response to the allegations. When asked if he had read the lawsuit, Levesque claimed he had not, despite it involving his father-in-law and the grandfather of his children. His description of the week as amazing for WWE, presumably referring to business developments rather than the lawsuit, struck many as tone-deaf given the serious nature of the allegations. Stephanie McMahon has maintained a more nuanced position in the aftermath of these allegations. After resigning from her executive roles in January 2023, she kept a relatively low profile before gradually re-emerging in the public eye. In her January 2025 interview on The Pat McAfee Show, she focused primarily on WWE's business successes, particularly its landmark deal with Netflix, rather than directly addressing the allegations against her
Angel
father.
says
When
Vince
asked
still
about
has
stepping
quite a
away
bit
from
of stock.
WWE, Stephanie
Hey, I wonder if
commented,
he's still
I never
involved.
stopped being proud ever. I do think I wanted to disappear for a little while, and I kind of did, you know, and it was good for me. I needed it, and now I'm back.
This statement suggests a period of personal reflection during a time of family crisis, followed by a deliberate
said he may
decision
not
to
have
return
power,
to public life.
but I
Stephanie's
believe
current relationship
his
with
voice
WWE
is
is
still there.
complex. She no
Okay,
longer
so
holds
yeah,
an
so we
official
agreed the same
executive
thing. That's
position,
what I'm
but
thinking.
remains
I
deeply
think he still
connected
got,
to the company
like,
through her
quietly
husband,
behind the
Triple H,
screen,
and
you
her
know.
lifelong involvement with the business. During her interview, she frequently referred to WWE
Rap
as
God
our
said people
company
believe
before
so.
catching herself,
I agree
saying,
with him.
"I know it's not our anymore, but
Jenny said, I bet
The
he
keto
is.
diet until summer to get rid of belly fat and get your
Hold
dream
on. I believe he is just behind the scenes power. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because he had came back at one point right after it happened, but then, you know, allegedly they paint the story or something. He, you know, wasn't there like that no more.
This slip reveals her continued emotional investment in the company, despite her official departure. It's worth noting that Stephanie has been developing her own projects outside of WWE's direct control. She announced a new show called Stephanie's Places, in partnership with Omaha Productions and WWE, where she'll be exploring the stories behind the biggest stars in WWE. This venture allows her to maintain a connection to wrestling, while establishing an identity separate from the direct corporate
Rap
structure
God said
her
that's
father
scary to me,
dominated for
honestly.
so long. The allegations
I agree,
against
brother.
Vince McMahon
That's
have
very
had broader
frightening.
implications for WWE's corporate culture and creative direction. Under Triple H's leadership, many fans and critics have noted improvements in the in-ring product and storytelling. There seems to be a conscious effort to move away from some of the more controversial aspects of the McMahon era while maintaining the core entertainment value that made WWE successful. The financial implications of these allegations continue to unfold. The corporate response to Grant's lawsuit was significant. When it was filed in January 2024, Slim Jim immediately withdrew its sponsorship of the Royal Rumble, indicating the potential financial impact of these controversies on WWE's business relationships. This sponsor withdrawal, combined with the public relations damage, likely contributed to McMahon's decision to resign from TKO on January 26, 2024. Despite these challenges, WWE has continued to secure major business deals, most notably its landmark agreement with Netflix. This suggests that while the allegations against McMahon have certainly damaged his personal reputation, the WWE brand itself has shown remarkable resilience. This may be partly due to the company's swift action in distancing itself from McMahon once the allegations became public. For Stephanie McMahon, navigating this period has undoubtedly been challenging both personally and professionally. As someone who grew up in the wrestling business and worked closely with her father for decades, reconciling her personal loyalty with the serious nature of the allegations against him has likely been a complex emotional process. In her public statements, Stephanie has focused on the positive aspects of WWE's legacy and future, rather than directly addressing the allegations against her father. This approach allows her to maintain her connection to the company and industry she loves while creating distance from the controversy surrounding Vince McMahon. The handling of the Lesnar situation situation also reflects WWE's struggle to navigate these controversies. Lesnar was pulled from the Royal Rumble in early 2025, presumably due to his naming in the amended complaint. Some reports suggest WWE is waiting for the legal situation to blow over before considering Lesnar's return, indicating a reactive rather than proactive approach to addressing these serious allegations. Looking ahead, WWE faces the challenge of rebuilding its reputation in the wake of these controversies. The company's handling of the situation, from McMahon's initial retirement in 2022 to his return and subsequent resignation in 2024 to the ongoing litigation, will be scrutinized by fans, sponsors, and media alike. The success of this rebuilding effort will depend on WWE's willingness to acknowledge past issues and implement meaningful changes to prevent similar problems in the future. For fans, the allegations present a difficult reckoning with their support for a company that may have enabled or covered up serious misconduct. Many are grappling with how to reconcile their love for professional wrestling with the troubling revelations about one of its most influential figures. Some have chosen to boycott WWE entirely, while others continue to support the company while hoping for positive changes under new leadership. The lawsuit also intersects with broader societal conversations about accountability, power, and justice in cases of alleged sexual misconduct.
We love
As with
TikTok
many
Shop.
high-profile cases, it raises questions about who gets believed, what evidence is required, and how we balance the principles of due process with supporting those who come forward with allegations of abuse. It's important to note that as of April 2nd, 2025, McMahon has consistently denied all allegations through his attorney, describing the amended complaint as a publicity stunt filled with desperate falsehoods. His legal team is pushing for private arbitration based on the NDA signed in January 2022, which Grant's team argues should be voided due to the circumstances under which it was signed. The ultimate resolution of this case may take years, with potential for appeals, settlements, or even criminal charges, depending on the findings of ongoing investigations. Regardless of the legal outcome, the allegations
Right,
have already
Rap God,
fundamentally
liar,
altered
exactly.
perceptions of McMahon
And they got the
raised
proof, so
important
why even
questions
say
about
that?
power, accountability,
Like, I don't
and
even know.
ethics in professional
That shouldn't even
wrestling.
be
For
allowed
WWE,
for him
the
to say.
post-McMahon era represents both a challenge and an opportunity. Without its founder at the helm for the first time in decades, the company has the chance to forge a new identity and corporate culture. Early indications suggest that under Triple H's creative leadership, the in-ring product has improved, with greater emphasis on wrestling ability and storytelling
That
coherence.
could be debatable.
However, the shadow of these allegations will continue to loom large over the company for the foreseeable future. For Stephanie McMahon, this period represents a potential opportunity to redefine her relationship with the company and industry she grew up in. By establishing herself as a voice independent from her father's legacy, she may be able to contribute to a more positive future for WWE while acknowledging the serious issues raised by these allegations. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this,
All right, that completes segment one. First and foremost, for those that may have been triggering for, I humbly apologize. And I hate that you even had to go through any of that or experience any of that. And I apologize if that was triggering. It's just this right here because it doesn't get that much press coverage as much as Puffy Jacket or other things like that. And like I said, here we're hashtag I'm gonna say it. We stand 10 toes down on what we say, and so I just want to make sure everybody knows that it's an equal thing. Like it's not. It happens on different. It's not just music. It's not just the music industry. It's also athletes, actors and actresses and stuff like that. So that was why I wanted to bring that out right there. And I forgot to do something, so let's do this.
All things said in today's show are alleged and for entertainment purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we ask that you leave the live now.
Should have did that in the beginning, and so hopefully you knew that by listening, if you were below that age, you needed to get out anyway. But in my haste of coming back and being with you all, I forgot to do that. Angel said it doesn't, but people like you and me will continue to speak out. Yes, we will, Angel. Me personally, I definitely am going to take that oath to do that, and I know you will. I've had the fortunate opportunities to hear you talk to people in Chris's live. You be on it. I love it. Like, man, I love it. I love how you know the industry and you stand on business. I love it. I love that. Now, of course, people, just another day, but you all know Puffy Jacket's got to be Puffy Jacket and do Puffy Jacket things, right? I mean, it just wouldn't be. Well, it seems as here we are. We are literally, oh my God, we are literally in the home stretch of the trial. The trial is rapidly. When I say rapidly approaching, like it's walking up the driveway. It's coming. It's almost here, right? And so, hey, talking with Joseph said, "Word, yes." Like it, and so things keep coming out. Things keep coming out. Monday was it? I know. Wait, is it Monday or Tuesday? I know on the 5th, I found out on the 5th they're supposed to do the jury selection. And then the case is supposed to start on the 12th. Talking with Joseph says, can you tell I'm counting? Hey, I'm with you. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able, because I wanted to go like to a restaurant and have some adult beverages, and we come on here and do a live and talk, but I may have to just go and buy me some adult beverages and come here and just do it here at the house. But either way, we need to stay on that. She says the jury selection is part of the trial. Okay, and you said that's on Monday? Just answered, did you hear the latest argument? Well, what I'm about, the segment 2 is about about him now trying to say that he was insane and temporary insanity. Is this public? No, Rap God, they're not gonna show it. They're not gonna show it. They're not allowed to have cameras in there, from what I've been told. But I wish. But he was asking for more time so he could prepare a better defense. And when they said no, now he's wanting to say it was temporary insanity. Jess says, yeah, they are fighting for partial insanity. Crazy work, man. Crazy work. All right, let's get into it. Funny. Not funny, but funny.
Oh my God, you guys come and sit down and shut the door. Diddy is now
Oh, my bad. Source cred. Tisa Tells.
trying to say that he lacked mental capacity to commit the crimes. Y'all, what is going on? Mark Agnifilo, you should be ashamed of yourself. The only time I'm questioning Diddy's mental capacity is how much money, tens of millions, he has paid Mark Agnifilo. Only for Mark Agnifilo.
Talking with JoJo said it
walk
doesn't
him
sound
down
partial
a
to me.
one-way
Me
street,
either, Bestie.
And Diddy turns around and Mark's like, I
He
gotta
knew what he
go.
was doing.
What am I talking about? If you guys don't know, Mark Agnifilo, in my opinion, played this all wrong. Now, when it comes to Diddy's case, we're about to get into why they say they have no capacity, but let me just say this. Mark Agnifilo played this all wrong. First of all, trying to S-shame people, trying to say, oh, lots of couples hired escorts. They're swingers. Okay, dummy. But let this be a wake-up to the industry, acting,
Hold on.
music,
Hold on.
couples. Just because everybody does it does not
Hold
mean
on a
it's
second,
legal.
y'all. Let me pause it. I just seen Angel's comment. Angel said, so he's hold on. He's playing Shaggy. He's using the Shaggy defense. It wasn't me. Exactly. That's what he's trying to do. Right? Okay, so I ain't getting an extension. You said no to my extension. Oh, I was insane. I was crazy. It was temporary insanity. Come on, man. Come on, man. And there's too many victims. Alleged. I know, Mars. Don't knock me out. Alleged. Just saying said he knew it was wrong. That's why he hired people to clean up after. That part right there.
Hiring sex workers is illegal. Having drug-filled orgies illegal. Laying hands on people illegal. I don't care if everybody did it. They are sending a message. It's time to clean it up. But not only that, Diddy needed more time to prepare his defense. They snatched him off the street because he was doing something that threatened the investigation on such a high level. that the feds were like, lock him up. So what ended up happening? Mark Agnifilo was the one that pushed for a speedy trial. This trial could have been tried in a year or two. The feds were fine. Mark Agnifilo was like, nah, here's what we're going to do. We're going to say, no, we want a speedy trial. We're going to rush them to complete their investigation. And it's true. They did scale down their investigation, but dummy, they already had enough to do you in, Diddy. Anyway, right? Let me just get past this, then we'll get to his mental stuff. Great.
Yo, I almost feel like that was Britney Spears too in the background. No. Hold on, people. I don't know why it sent us back. Hold on a sec. Let me find out why it came off of that. We're gonna pick it up from right here.
Right? Let me just get past this, then we'll get to his mental stuff. So Mark Agnifilo was like, yo, here's what we're doing. It's trial. Trial is a lot of skill. We're gonna rush this to trial and make sure that the feds close their investigation down early. And then we're gonna say, hit pause and say, hey, can we bring the trial back in 2 months and 3 months? And we'll just keep asking for continuances. Don't worry, I got you. Diddy was like, yo, you sure it's gonna work? He's like, yo, I got you. Relax. Well, guess what? Diddy, he does not have you. He tried that stuff. The judge, as you know, said, baby, we are a freight train moving forward. Jury selection is going to start on, what is it, May the 5th? The actual trial in court, and you know your girl's going to be covering it. It's going to be May 12th. Baby, I know Diddy is sick to the point that Mark Agnifilo is now saying that he lacked the mental capacity to commit crimes. They said part of Diddy's defense involves his mental capacity to commit crimes while he was essentially wasted. He even had the doctor lined up to testify. But feds think it's a totally irrelevant point. Prosecutors filed their opposition to this line of testimony, and in the docs they say Diddy wants to have the doctor, who's a Columbia professor, testify. He had a...
How many of y'all think this is gonna work? How many of y'all actually think this man gonna get off with temporary insanity? Jenny says couldn't commit crimes, but could run a business and artists. Right. Angel said no. No way. They're not gonna play this with him. I agree with her too. I don't think there's just no way. It's too much done, allegedly. Done. To say, yeah, nah, he didn't have the wherewithal, the mental capacity to know what he was doing. Marie says he's going to get off, but not out. So you think they're going to drop some of the things and make it like a lesser charge? Jazan said not happening. Not happening. Like this last ditch effort to get some kind of sympathy, and it's not going to work. Marie said, "No, sir." Okay. I listen. Like talking with JoJo says, we are the final countdown. I'm ready. Again, you know. Oh, okay. You said inside joke. Okay. I got you, Marie. I got you. Sharita says, I believe he's going to. You himself. Oh, okay. Oh, ooh. Hey, that's not out too far out of the realm. Jenny says, just like that meme of the guy in a Speedo. Right. I get it. You know, listen. I don't think it's. And as of yesterday, I heard some more victims, alleged victims, were coming out. And again,
alleged
victims were coming out. So here we are. What'd you say? Talking with JoJo a week out and stuff. Yo, it's still coming out. Like, man,
a mental condition bearing on the issue of guilt. What? Well, listen. And they said, well, the detail of its alleged condition is redacted to the documents, but there are some clues, including a bit about Diddy's alleged drinking and rugging. According to docs obtained by TMZ, and by obtained by TMZ, maybe Diddy's team gave this to TMZ. Prosecutors say legal precedent requires the defense to give proper notice before offering any evidence of the effects of drugs and alcohol on a defendant's
Talking with
memory or
judges, they're going to
cognitive
have
function.
trouble finding the
One
jury
other
too.
clue is
Facts.
prosecutors
Everybody, I think almost
describing the
everybody
doctor's
knows
potential
about this.
testimony
So
as
to find
evidence
an
of the
unbiased
defendant's
jury,
inability to control his
it's going to be
behavior.
hard pressed.
Again, let's pause.
Jenny
because
says
we're not
Puffy
through this.
Jacket is
How does
grasping
this
for
help you,
straws
Diddy?
now. Exactly.
First of all, if you willingly intoxicate yourself, you are
Like, here's what I'm getting, people. This is the vision that I'm getting right now by him trying to use this temporary insanity plea thing or whatever. It's reminding me of Wile E. Coyote in the Roadrunner cartoon, where Wile E. Coyote is like hanging on to the edge of the cliff trying to prevent himself from falling, and he keeps trying to grab and scratch, and you know, that's what it's giving me those vibes right there.
and engage in illegal behavior, you are responsible for everything that comes from it. For instance, if I go to a bar and I'll have a drink and you roofie my drink, and like I go and drive and something happens and I wipe out a whole family with my car, yeah, you're responsible for that. However, if I go and I drink and I inebriate myself to the point of, and I do it on my own, I'm responsible for that. Diddy, what are you talking about? And what psychological condition do you have linked to guilt? No, really, I want to know. And you know I'm going to find out. Let me Google it. Hold on, y'all. Let me go Google it. Okay, I just got it. So they're saying it's either major depressive disorder with psychotic features. Severe guilt can trigger or worsen major depression. In extreme cases, the person may lose touch with reality. Psychotic depression, delusions of guilt, believing they deserve punishment even if they don't, cognitive slowing and poor judgment. Obsessive compulsive disorder, the guilt variant, I don't think that's. The person is tormented by obsessive thoughts about guilt, wrongdoing, and harming others, even irrational. It could impair impulse control, judgment, and decision making. I don't think so. They're trying to say that he has guilt-driven PTSD, flashbacks, disassociation, mental checking out, and poor emotional regulation.
And he blamed corn addiction. What Angel said. For real? Come on, man.
The women around you and
This
some
guy.
men, you were disassociating and
That's
having
the vibes this
flashbacks
is giving.
of
It
what?
is. It really
Diddy,
is.
you was the one
It
that
really
was Diddy
is.
stomping your mom, according to Uncle Gene Gill. Anyway, acute stress reaction, temporary insanity, extreme guilt at the moment or just before the offense could trigger an acute dissociative state. Defense could argue temporary insanity, but this is incredibly hard to prove. That would mean the person lacked the capacity to understand what they were doing or distinguish right from wrong at that moment. Yeah, listen, I think that's what they're going to go for. Honestly, I think they're actually going to go for cognitive impairment by acute stress reaction, temporary insanity.
Listen, you said Tiger came to Arizona to get treatment twice for that? Oh yeah, he did have his issues. But even like I don't know, was Tiger ever at any of the parties? I haven't heard his name mentioned, but I'm just asking. Uh, I've never heard. I don't think so. Angel said so. It's the ladies' fault for Puffy Jacket issues. Lord, right? A complete narcissist. Well, he refuses to just take accountability, right, and ownership. I don't think it's gonna shake, people. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think it's gonna shake. I know we don't judge here, but we do give our opinion. I don't think it's gonna shake. Talking with JoJo said, me neither. Angel says, I think Tiger learned his lesson, but I don't know if he did. Yeah, I think he went through his thing and then he said, listen, I need to act right. And then he had that bad car wreck too. Marie said, me neither. Yeah, I don't think so. Just said, oh, we judge Puffy. She said he asked for it. I mean, shoot, it ain't wrong for judging him. And he's giving us all the evidence we need.
Linked to guilt. Diddy, shut your dumb ass up and go make some beats.
Yeah, he should have stuck to making beats and not beating nobody. You know. Angel says, "Oh, I'm judging Diddy. I'm judging. I'm judging from the from sun up to sun down. Look, and you ain't wrong though. You not. I don't think we wrong for it. Again, we've had our free Diddy people coming here all the time. We have. We have. Unfortunately, I don't know what they're thinking. But let's be honest. In Before we even got here, them folks had evidence when they did those raids on both his houses. And in fact, I think it was 3, but they only talk about 2. They had to know something. They already had something.
They said, according to the docs, they have to give proper notice before offering any evidence of effects in drugs or alcohol on a defendant's memory or cognitive function. On other clues, prosecutors describing the doctor's potential testimony as evidence of the defendant's inability to control his own behavior. What's interesting is the federal indictment accuses Diddy of rugging his victims into compliance during freak-offs, but now it's a question of whether Diddy himself was in a haze during the alleged crimes. Even if he was, prosecutors say the doctor's opinion on whether Diddy was lucid is irrelevant. In the docs, they do point out that the doctors never personally examined Diddy, and his testimony is based on his experience with other people. Prosecutors also want to block testimony of a forensic video expert regarding the Cassie Hotel beating video, which the judge ruled will be admitted as evidence. Okay, first of all, let me just say this, right? Being high is not a defense against criminal charges. Again, if that was true, I think pretty much every drunk driver would beat the case.
True.
Right?
True.
Again, you had how many years of being a billionaire mogul, orchestrating the freak-offs, inspecting them, having your like. How did you orchestrate? Diddy, you just say like, Diddy, shut up. Shut up. Again, this is insanely pathetic. And it's insanely desperate. But it's the way Mark Agnifilo has been 100% wasting Diddy's time this whole time. Think about it. This defense won't hold. Do you know how hard it is to prove temporary insanity? I'm not joking. I'm not talking about CSI or Matlock. I'm talking about in the real world. Even people that really are temporarily insane, the judge and the court doesn't want to hear it. It's so hard to prove temporary insanity. And the fact
Then he
that
said,
Diddy is
"What
trying
the
to do this,
his
this
D-Rug
is
use
sad.
can't be excused
This is pathetic.
because
This
he
is
knew what
desperate.
he was
And
doing,
to say this
setting
was
up those
purely,
wild nights.
purely Diddy.
Facts.
I mean, what do y'all think?
No lies detected.
Are y'all buying this? I know the jury's not. But also, again, you built a $1 billion business. You were on the making of the band. You gave like motivation entrepreneur. You literally paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for elaborate SMEX parties. You literally looked and hired workers. You had your agents go in and set the hotel room, bring the baby oil, bring the lube, do all this stuff. And after that, they had to clean. And you did it over and over and over, not just with Cassie, but with multiple people. Because might I just add, Diddy wasn't the most faithful to Cassie when they were together. So as much as whatever Cassie went through, there were other people that had to engage in that. So
Got a
again,
point there.
where's the temporary insanity? Y'all listen, Diddy is just sad, pathetic, and tragic. But that's what I know.
Charlie
about him.
Sprinkles,
Anyway,
peace and
y'all,
blessings,
let me know
brother.
what you
Welcome
think
to
in
the
the comments.
live.
Don't
How you
forget,
doing?
I am going to be covering the trial. I'm a little bit under weather, but don't worry, your girl will be back soon. So look forward to blurry camera angles and subpar audio. I'm just joking. Your girl will be back soon. I'll see y'all soon. But yeah, we getting into this trial. Bye.
Yeah. Unless has there ever been a thing called premeditated temporary insanity? Has that ever been a thing? Because that's like the only way that's gonna work for him, if that's been a thing, and that's the only way. And talking with JoJo says no, never. And so by you saying that, Bessie, then yeah, we pretty much know that's not gonna fly, right? Charlie Sprinkle says not ongoing. Laugh out loud. I know, right? And still more people coming out, more alleged victims, man. Like this is wow. Rap God said he is the first case, laugh out loud, of temporary. I mean, of what was it? Premeditated temporary insanity. Yeah, can we add that on the book? That is wild. That is crazy. That is crazy to even try that, man. I'm laughing. I'm laughing because to have an attorney that you pay all that money for to even make you feel that that is going to be a good defense or that's a good angle to take on a case like this is asinine, man. Like for real. Like you just threw your money away. Charlie Sprinkle says, and that's not even scraping the surface. Exactly. It's not. It's not. Hold on, I missed it. Talking with JoJo says that's like saying serial unalivers are innocent due to psychosis. Hey, right, right. So they would just walk out of court scot free, right? Come on, man. Do better. Do better. Do better. Puffy Jacket. Do better, man. Do better. Just uh that concede segment number 2, people, of hashtag I'm gonna say it. And we're about to go into our third and final seg of the show today. But before we do, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for spending your morning with me. Greatly appreciate it. And like I was telling my bestie, you are like the medicine that I need, man. Like, because even though I don't be feeling as, I'm not feeling as good now, but I'm feeling good, but not as good as I should be. You all are making it better. Just laughing and just enjoying your company, you know. And so, thank you for being here because you could have went on anybody else's live, but you rocking out with me. I appreciate it. Jenny says he's trying to use the Son of Sam excuse. It wasn't me. Hey, I love that movie, Summer of Sam. But yeah, that he is trying to use that, right? That's one of my favorite movies, actually. That I think Bronx Tale is like my top favorite. But yeah, you're right, Bestie. So the third and final segment of today's show, Destiny's Child. Let's talk about Destiny's Child. That was a great R&B uh, women trio group. Um, they had some hits, you know. Rap God said, "Glad you were talking about this. It's important to expose these people." Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I thank all of y'all for helping. Talking with JoJo says, "Oh no, I love them." Yeah, no, look, nothing bad like that. They didn't do anything bad about like this. They didn't. Well, I mean, they didn't. Now you know when it comes to Beehive, you know we know what we know, right? But you know they broke up. We know they broke up, and we know that Beyonce went on. I'm sorry, Beehive. Sorry, moderators. Sorry, Beehive went on to have great career. I mean, she's made multiple songs that were. I mean, we're not going to even lie; they were good, right? What was the reason for them breaking up? Does anybody know? I haven't heard. I don't know. And I like to call myself a music lover, but I don't know what caused the group to break up. Charlie Sprinkle says, "Yep." You know what caused them to break up? You know? I have no clue. Jess Ann says, "I think Kelly wanted to go on her own way." Hold on, that went up too fast. Go out on her own, but not sure. Talking with JoJo says, Beehive going solo. Jenny says, at the expense of her soul, they got all that fame and money. Charlie Sprinkle says, it's something that the entertainment does all the time. They always split up the group. Okay. Jenny says, I thought it was Bay's movie career. Hmm. All good things. All good things. It said, and yes, Charlie Sprinkle, you're right. A lot of groups break up, and everybody know my cousin left New Edition. And went on his own. And so, and we know that they were one of the. And I'm not saying it because I'm biased. They was a good R&B group in the '80s, and so we get that. We get that groups break up. But hold on, people. Let me jar your mind for a minute. Can I blow your mind? Can I blow your mind for a minute? What if, and I'm not saying that this is the problem, but Jenny says they still are an awesome group. Yes, New Edition is still an awesome group. I do agree. What if possibly
Allegedly, Jay-Z and Kelly Rowland had a baby together. And that caused them not to be able to work together with Beehive.
what if I told you all that? What if that was it? What if it is indeed true that Kelly Rowland and Camel Face had an alleged relationship prior to him being paired or arranged to be with Beehive? And from their relationship came a child. Yeah. I get it. I know what you're saying. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan through and through. So yeah, I know. Kelly Rowland has the baby with Roy Williams. Right. I got it. But what if Roy Williams himself is saying that that's not his child, it's Camel Faces? Let's dive into segment 3.
I want you to let the world know. There's been on the blogs, at one point you were engaged to Kelly Rowland, correct? Of Destiny's Child.
Rap God said, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, and
I pretty much said what I had to say, and people were like, well, if you
Rap God said, bro, stop the suffering, laugh out loud.
Well, to me personally, yes, I do, because one,
people wanted those stories for years. You know what I mean? Right. I think that people wanted those stories for years, and that's just so sad on them because it's not like that.
It looks like Kelly Rowland's past is finally catching up with her, and Roy Williams just dropped a bombshell that has the internet in shambles. Now, if you've ever wondered who really inspired Kelly's heartbreaking song, Dirty Laundry, well, you might be in for a plot twist. For years, people believed Kelly was talking about Roy, but guess what? He just came forward and cleared his name, and guys, that opened a
great news, Spectrum Internet cut.
We got a commercial.
New can of drama. Not only is Roy saying he wasn't the one who put hands on Kelly, but he's also hinting that Kelly had multiple exes back then, and one of them might have been Jay-Z. So let's dive right in. This is one drama you don't want to miss.
Single Dirty Laundry. I'm so glad that she was able to open up and really
That's Latoya Luckett talking.
She almost gave a piece of herself. You know what I'm saying? That is big of her. She was so honest, and it was a vulnerable moment for her. And a lot of times we need that, especially as artists and creative people. We have so much stuff locked in that we don't get to express it, and she did that with this record.
So, while people were out here assuming Kelly Rowland's mystery ex, the one she sang about in Dirty Laundry, was Roy Williams, the truth might have been sitting right in front of us this whole time. The street's been whispering for years that the man Kelly was referring to could have actually been Jay-Z. Now, this is deep, and let's not act brand new. There's been speculation for years that Kelly and Jay-Z may have had something going on before Beyonce came into the picture as the chosen one of Destiny's Child. And the timing? Oh, it's sketchy. Kelly and Bey were both
Hey, I've always said Kelly Rowland was the better singer out of the group. So when she says that Beehive was selected to be the chosen one, I think we got to pay attention to that verbiage in order to get the whole understanding of what happened and what's going on. Jenny said, so Kelly was the one with the good hair. I don't know if she was Becky or not. I don't know. I don't know.
Both teens, close in age, and constantly around Jay-Z. He was the older, powerful music mogul. And back in the early 2000s, that type of mentor relationship often blurred the lines. Now let's circle back to Dirty Laundry. That song wasn't just about being in Beyonce's shadow. It was raw, emotional, and sounded like it was hiding something way deeper, especially the part about her being hurt, harmed, and emotionally torn. Fans are now saying, was Jay-Z that man? Now, here's where it goes. Full Lifetime movie? People on the internet have been clocking this for years. Kelly Rowland's son, Titan, looks a lot like Jay-Z.
Yo!
A little too much. The whispers.
Hey! Brother? Broham? Camel face? Ooh. Ooh. Man. So the way this kid looks, yo, man, I don't know. I don't, cause not only does he favor camel face, man, you can see Blue Ivy. You can see especially here. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't say nothing. Hey, Dr. Rashida, thank you for that heart me. How you doing? Good morning, bestie. I'm sorry, I'm quiet, y'all. I'm silent. That caught me off guard. Like, man, this little boy looked just like. And see, I'm in that situation. Like, I'm transparent. Y'all know I'm transparent. I tell y'all everything. See, that's when my kid's mother, when Jade she had a daughter by the guy she was with, she thought that was his. And then when the girl was 4, she was like, the baby looked like me. And I never bought into it. And then one day we was sitting in my room, and I wish she was in here. I wish my daughter was in here, my oldest daughter. She could tell you. I wish she was in here. But one day I was sitting in my room. My oldest daughter came in there, and she's a guru on the phone. Like, she can, splice pictures, take them, put them together, and stuff like that. And so she took a picture of Tashia, which is the daughter that Jay thought was with her ex. She took a picture of Tashia, and she put a picture next to my son Jordan by my ex-wife. And this was me. And all I could do was scream and threw the phone across the bed. Like, get that away from me. Like, so all this time, Jade was telling the truth. And so I'm having that kind of moment when I look at this guy. I'm sorry, this little boy's face. This little boy's face is very similar, eerily similar to Blue, especially this part. Now, I hadn't seen their twins. I hadn't seen them, or if I have, I ain't paid attention enough to remember what they look like. But right here, man, you all got to go watch this video because
Started after photos of Titan circulated online.
Ooh, they just posted another picture. Now, see, in the picture on the right, Lord forgive me. Lord forgive me. The picture on the right, the little boy looked like Lil Flip to me. But the one on the left, he does look like Camel Face, and he looks like Blue Ivy. But You all go and check. Let me know after y'all see it.
Fans pointed out facial features, nose shape, and even side-by-side comparisons with Jay-Z and Blue Ivy.
See, I told y'all.
Commented, why does he look like Jay-Z and Blue Ivy?
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
Help that during the premiere of The Harder They Fall, Jay's reaction to seeing Kelly was, let's just say extra friendly. The man lit up. Body language changed. Like he just saw an old flame or something.
I'm just saying. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. That was a commercial. Oh, man. Hey, by the way, I forgot. The source cred for this segment is Limitless on YouTube. Limitless. And the heading says, Roy Williams just exposed this secret Kelly Rowland kept all these years. And I'm trying to tell you, that little boy.
To be close to you. I'm just a Jimmy Samuel. Thank you.
Jenny said, oh, is that Jenny? No, Jess Ann says, see, I think Blue Ivy looks like B. Bestie, you gotta go. You gotta go see this. You gotta go see this video.
It was giving baby mama, I still got love for you energy, not wife's bestie energy. And people started saying the quiet part out loud. Was Jay-Z more than just Beyonce's man?
Okay, well, hold on now. Well, now I can't even say that because they're saying that Camel Face and K-Ro's relationship was prior to Beehive coming in. Because I was going to say now, remember, they said that Beehive and Camel Face have an agreement. It's okay for him to have sex with a woman outside their marriage as long as he only does it one time. That's been rumored.
Allegedly.
That's what's been said. Bessie said Blue favors Kathy. I think that too. I think that too. So, but even if that's the case, though, Bestie, I'm talking to Sharita. If Blue favors Kathy and Camel Face allegedly had made her with Kathy, and then this little boy favors Blue, and it said allegedly that Camel Face and K-Ro made him, who's the common denominator? I ain't no woman. I ain't, you know, I don't play for that team. But I just don't think that women would just be making lies about having kids by them. I could be wrong. Yeah, Jenny, right, that's true too. Jenny says Blue also looks like Tata too, though. That's true. That is so true too. Sharita says people favor people all the time, so you can't say. Right, we can't say. We most definitely can't say. But I want you all to go look and make y'all judge. Because, it could be me. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong. But
was he Kelly's ex first? Now, this is where things start to connect like puzzle pieces. If Jay-Z was really Kelly's ex and Beyonce ended up with him, you already know that had to cause some serious tension behind the scenes.
That's what I was saying.
Even if they never addressed it publicly, the energy definitely shifted over the years. Remember how Kelly once said she felt like she was always in Bey's shadow?
Talking about new music, all the talk this week has been about Beyonce's new album. Have you heard it yet? Have you had an opportunity to give some thoughts on the whole thing?
I sure have. It's great. It's absolutely great.
Really different though, right?
Yes, really different.
Is
But
that
getting back to what I'm here to talk about,
Yeah.
Claritin, I'm very excited to.
Ooh. Now that's giving that whole vibe where here recently when the interviewer asked Jalen Hurts, so are you going to the White House with the team, and he just didn't say nothing. And that's what K-Roll just gave the interviewer from WGN TV. Shout out to WGN TV News, Channel 9 News, who in Chicago. I watch them all the time. I like them.
Be teaming up with Claritin.
Kelly Rowland on being in Beyonce's shadow. For a whole decade, I would torture myself in my head. Rowland has come into her own since the final days of Destiny's Child. But now she's speaking on how she lived in her group meet in best friend Beyonce's shadow for 10 years during their days in a Grammy Award-winning group. In a recent episode of The Voice Australia, Kelly Rowland relates to her Team Kelly consistent Chris Sebastian on what it feels like to stand in the professional shadow of someone you love. 5. Kelly Rowland says she's torturing herself trying to forge an identity outside of Queen Bey. She told Chris Sebastian, "I know this feeling. Can you imagine what it's like being in a group with Beyonce? I would be lying if I said no. It's never bothered me. That's bull. There was a whole decade, if I'm being completely honest, a decade where it was like the elephant in the room. It was the thing that would constantly be on my shoulder."
That wasn't just about career stuff. Imagine losing both your spot in the spotlight and your man to your best friend. That's deep betrayal. And what if that betrayal wasn't even by Babe, but by...
Ladies, y'all chime in. Chime in for me, ladies. If you were in this group with your home girl, that's your bestie, that's your A1 from day one, and you had a relationship with a guy, and then your A1 from day one gets put in a position to be your ex's man. Can you still be in a group with her like this? Could you still conduct business with her like this? And this is for my ladies. Me and I already know we probably ain't going for it. This is for my ladies. My ladies that's in the live. Could y'all see yourself doing it? And do you think that that's what K-Roll was getting at when she was saying all of these things? I'll let y'all think about that for a minute.
speculate and then flipped around and dated Beyonce, that's not just shady, that's diabolical. It paints a whole new picture of why Kelly disappeared from the limelight for a while. The
Talking with JoJo
silence,
says, I
the
couldn't be.
distance,
It's a
maybe
definite
even
possibility.
why Beyonce's circle got
Yeah,
tighter
I don't
and
think
Kelly
it could
seemed
work.
to fall.
Do not buy
I
new
just don't
windows
think
if
it
you
would
live in
work
Georgia.
because you got to hide to compress all that emotion. Jenny says, hell no, I'm out. No amount of money will make me feel different. So I don't, that's what I said. Like, I'm with you. I just don't. So I got to sit back knowing me and you see what I'm saying? She's got to sit back and knowing that one, like I said, she's a better singer. That's my opinion. That's not facts. That's my opinion. Kelly is a better singer. But so she got to. She's had this dude. They had their thing, and now she got to sit back and play her part and play her role, while these people that's higher up pairs this guy that she had this thing in. And I'm saying, if you watch this video, you'll see how her camel face looks at K-Roll. Right? She's right. That's like a baby mama. Like, girl, you know, you remember when we did what we used to do? Can we do it again? You know, that's what that the look, the hug and the look that he gave her. So I'm just saying, I don't think I could. Neither. I don't see how that would work. Jeannie says she's better in general. Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Marie says, hell to the no. To the no. Right, Bessie? Listen, can you, because I couldn't even, I guess I wonder if Kelly was just like, you know what? When we dancing and I just want to bop her in the back of her head one time. You know what I mean? Like, because I know I'm better than her anyways. And then because she decided to sell her soul, you know, She got that part.
This ain't even the first time Jay-Z's name has been tied to shady behavior with younger women. Let's talk about Rymir Satterthwaite. This man has been fighting for years, over a decade,
We covered that,
to get
fact.
Jay-Z to take a paternity test. His mother claims she got pregnant by Jay when she was just 16 years old. And Jay? He's been ducking and dodging that test like it's the IRS.
Got pregnant. And then they didn't know each other like that, but he did come back in the community, from what she told me, looking for.
Rest in peace to some Rymir Satterthwaite mom. That's her speaking. Rest in peace, Black Queen. You deserve your flowers, beloved.
For her for the second time, the date, whatever, because that was their area where they scouted these men doing what they do. And she said that her mom told her, "You disappear again, I'm gonna put you away." That's what she told me. So she decided not to go off with him, so she didn't go.
So he wanted her to leave with him.
Yeah, he was. I think he was looking for a consistent thing. So at the end of the day, it was a one night stand on how, unfortunately, when Rymir was pregnant, and at the time she didn't know she was pregnant. And then he came back, and it must have came back within a reasonable amount of time, week, 2 weeks, whatever it was. And her mother told her not to disappear again, because she had disappeared the last time because they were off in New York.
I'm sorry. I told y'all. I'm sorry. That's the god mom for Rymir, and she was best friends with his mom. But she was there that night that they all, when Camel Face and his friend came and met them in Philly.
Okay. This is what she told me. And at the end of the day, she didn't go, but I understand it to be true that Wanda told me that when he found out that she was with child, he came looking for her. But by then, Wanda's mother had moved. So this is a fact, everybody. This is what happened.
Rymir's case has been through court after court, and Jay-Z's legal team been doing Olympic-level gymnastics to shut it down, filing motions.
Look, why you ducking and dodging if you ain't got nothing to hide?
Even allegedly colluding with judges, if you believe the claims. And why would someone go through that much effort to avoid a simple DNA test? Well, according to Rymir's side, it's because the truth would be devastating. It would confirm that Jay-Z was involved with a minor, and the optics?
In the video right then, people, it's Camel Face and Puffy Jacket in like a bathroom mirror, dressing them, checking their outfit, making sure they got suits on, so making sure they straight and everything. How iconic, ironic. You could use either word. They both fit this narrative, but that they show those two people when they're talking about sexual assault with underage girls.
This would burn his whole empire down.
Maybe Jay-Z sees it, representative is sees it. What would you want them to know? What words would you want Jay-Z to hear from you?
I just want to say, man, this is never, your major influence, and I believe you should do the right thing. This was never any negativity towards you or nothing like that. I always just wanted to know the truth, and I look at you as a role model, and it's not saying this changed anything, but you gotta do better, man. It's a lot going on in the world, and only take celebrities, not even just you, only take celebrities or anybody in the world 5 minutes to tell the truth or see if it's the truth or not, and you can go from there. I'm not, I don't want to put no pauses on his life. I don't want that man to receive any backlash from me for anything I'm saying. This is honestly coming from my heart. I don't know what else to say. I respect him to death, respect everything he do, and I'm gonna continue to respect him, but I gotta do what I believe in too, and this is what I truly believe.
Man,
appreciate you.
He deserved to get a
While we're here, let's talk patterns. Because if Jay really was involved with a 16-year-old back then, what does that say about the other young women around him at the time? It's been rumored for years that Jay-Z started dating Beyonce.
We use the Spectrum.
Hold on, we have a commercial. I think we're about to get to some interesting part as well.
17, not
When she
18
was
like the media
17.
said. Do the math. She was born in 1981. They allegedly got together in 1998 or 99. That means, yeah, she was still underage. Then there's Foxy Brown. She's been very quiet over the years, but the rumors about Jay taking her V card when she was still a teen, they've been around forever. Some say she was
We've
only
documented
15
all
when
this.
they
We covered
started
all of
dealing.
this.
Was I shocked when Jay said the line in Picasso Baby? Yes.
I never stuck my cock in the box, but damn if I ain't open Pandora's box.
Because we've talked about that. We have a history that supersedes music, and we know how this business works. We sit back and we laugh at those rumors. We laugh at that. I think he began to feel the pressure because people were saying my age, the age thing. She was 15, 14. She was 15, 14. And after a while, that gets to a person. The Jay I know, the Sean I know, never comes out of character.
So let's bring it back to Kelly. She's only about a year older than Bae. If Jay was around that circle during the Destiny's Child early days, who's to say he...
Hold up. Jenny said this behavior has been going on since the beginning. Aaliyah, Foxy, etc. Facts. Facts. You right on that, bestie. And that's why we was trying to say that. Remember, we've been trying to bring that to people's light. It's what happened. It's what happened. You know, we ain't tell nobody to do it, but it is what it is. This is how it went down. And they were, if you go by their age of Foxy and to your point, Aaliyah, Beehive, and the other girl who was on the record label that he dropped when she was going to her high school prom, and Riri.
He didn't have something going on with Kelly too. The math is mathing, and it's not looking good. So now that Roy Williams has spoken out and confirmed he was not the ex who put hands Kelly, it's like the floodgates opened. He said he was tired of the rumors and wanted to protect his own name. And honestly, can you blame him? The man's been quiet for years, letting people assume the worst.
Oh, I've known you for a long time, but I want you to let the world know. There's been on the blogs at one point you were engaged to Kelly Rowland, correct? Of Destiny's Child.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, and there she has a new song coming out, and you had to go out and basically clarify and clear your name of whatever she was saying in the lyrics. Is there anything you can say about that and to our audience?
No, there really isn't much for me to speak on. You know, I pretty much said what I had to say, and people were like, well, if you really didn't do that, you shouldn't have had to say anything. Well, to me personally, yes, I do, because one, I'm a Christian,
right?
And first off, I don't condone. I had a foundation for 2004 all the way to 2010, maybe, so about 6 years, whatever.
But now that he's denied it, people started doing what they always do, connect the dots. And all the dots keep circling back to Jay-Z, especially when you remember Kelly's history with the Carters. She lived with them, toured with them, was in their tight circle. It wouldn't be shocking if things got complicated behind the scenes. And speaking of tours, let's talk about something that had people clutching their pearls when it came out. Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, who was not just her daddy, but also Destiny's Child's manager back in the day, dropped a bombshell that still has folks shook. So according to Matthews, during the early 2000s, something deeply inappropriate went down on tour. He claimed that Beyonce and Kelly Rowland, who were just 16 at the time, were being sexually harassed by two members of the R&B group, Jagged Edge. Now keep in mind, Beyonce and Kelly were youngins, and the two men from Jagged Edge were in their early 20s, 21 and 22 years old. That's a huge age and power gap. Matthew said he got a disturbing call from the girls. They told him they were being made uncomfortable harassed, and they didn't know what to do.
Ooh, okay, I didn't see that coming. I haven't heard about that. Brittany says, I'm sorry, but Camel Face is Smug Child. What you mean, Smug Child? Oh, yes, yeah. I got it. I follow you. It's gonna be a diabolical thing. I got you. You're right. It is. For sure. I have no doubts on that. It's going to be. When the other proverbial shoe drops, yeah, it's gonna be something diabolical.
Bravery.
Book where they approached you. Well, you got a letter that's saying that you will no longer be managing them, and they have their own managers.
Correct.
And that kind of created a big problem.
Well, that started really from a poor decision that I made in putting on that tour we just talked about with John B. on putting both Destiny's Child and Jagged Edge on the same tour bus. Now remember,
Jenny says the fact he knew about that situation and didn't protect them is giving sacrifice humiliation vibes. Facts. That's what
16
you're right,
years
best.
The guys are 21,
But you know, he was doing.
22
He's been
years
accused of
old.
doing the same thing
I
himself.
have a fiduciary duty with minors by the law. There's a certain way I have to manage that.
As both their manager and guardian at the time, Matthew knew he had to act fast. He said he immediately got the guys removed from the tour bus in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It caused a lot of behind-the-scenes drama, but he said it had to be done. Now, here's where it gets even messier. No one from Destiny's Child or Jagged Edge has publicly confirmed or denied this claim. Not Beyonce, not Kelly, not the men allegedly involved. Complete silence, which, let's be real, only adds more questions than answers. Why no statement? Why no follow-up? The speculation
Oh, Tucker's
has
mom
only
too. What's
grown
going on,
since.
Bestie?
And speaking of
She said they say
speculation,
alike
there's
folks will
another
flock
Destiny's
together.
Child
That part.
moment that had people talking, this time about Kelly specifically. So, back in 2001, there was this now infamous interview where people swore Kelly looked high, like out of it. People were convinced she was under the influence, but Beyonce later addressed the rumors. She explained that they had been doing interviews for 16 hours straight that day. 16 hours. No food, barely any sleep, just work. She said they were all exhausted and running on fumes. So nope, it wasn't grass, it was burnout. And then a few years ago, Kelly commented, "I love you," on a post by Chris Brown. And she was not ready for the backlash. She was just trying to show love and keep it cute. But social media? Oh no, they dragged her like a rag doll. Why? Well, Chris had just released a song called Need a Stack.
Jenny says, so why didn't he provide a bus for the girls? It's like he's deflecting from his own behavior. Yeah, I think that might, and again, this is just my beliefs or my thought. He probably was afraid to get close to the fire because he knew he had already set his own fire. He had his own fires going on.
And in it, he rapped about only liking black women with nice hair. Yeah, that good hair rhetoric.
There you
Y'all
go,
already
Jenny.
know what that
The good
triggered.
hair rhetoric.
Accusations of colorism and texturism. It was giving pick me territory by association, and Kelly got caught in the crossfire.
And the American Music Award goes to Chris Brown. Now, Chris Brown is not here tonight, so I'm accepting this award on his behalf. Excuse me, chill out. But I want to tell Chris, thank you so much for making great R&B music. And I want to tell him, thank you for being an incredible performer. I'll take this award, bring it to you. I love you. Congratulations.
But I love the fact that at the AMAs, it's very spontaneous.
Yeah.
You never know what to expect. And, you know, that's what I'm most excited about tonight. I'm excited about seeing all these artists and how they plan on expressing themselves. And, you know, it's really exciting.
She said she had no idea about the lyrics when she commented. At the time, She was in Australia and was just congratulating him for breaking some kind of record. She woke up the next day to a storm of hate comments. People were calling her out left and right. Some even reminded
All right,
her
Deb.
that
Hey,
Chris
take care.
Brown
Thank you
had
for joining us.
previously been accused of banning dark-skinned women from his VIP
Tucker's mom too said,
section
or keep
at
the sacrificial
clubs.
lambs
The
available.
optics were terrible.
Right, like that don't make sense, right? Like, why would you do
my
that?
position to say, I'm not stopping.
Right.
You know, so it'll happen.
Right.
It'll happen. You know, it'll happen.
Do you remember the last award show you performed at?
My last award show might have been BET. My last award show might have been BET Awards. Yeah. Yeah.
Kelly Rowland supported you.
Yeah.
Kelly later had to clarify her position. She said she absolutely does not support Chris's lyrics or any type of colorist messaging. She spoke candidly about how the phrase nice hair or good hair has a deeply painful history for Black women. Let's not ignore the obvious here. Kelly Rowland has never officially confirmed who her abusive ex was. But in 2023, she hinted at it being someone powerful and still in the industry. Baby. That narrows it down a lot. So, Roy Williams has officially cleared his name, and in doing so, he may have accidentally exposed the truth Kelly Rowland has been hiding for years. Her ex wasn't Roy, and it wasn't some random. It may have been Jay-Z. There are way too many puzzle pieces. The timing, the rumored fallout with Beyonce, the abusive ex in her song, the alleged child that looks like Jay, the history of dating younger women, the Ramier case, to ignore. Now, is this all confirmed? But where there's smoke, there's usually fire.
Just about to say
And
that.
this fire's been burning for decades. If you made it this far, drop a comment below. Do you think Jay-Z was Kelly's mystery ex? And could he actually be the father of her child? Or is this all just internet speculation gone wild?
All right, that concludes the third part of our segment. But in closing, look, you all go and watch the video. Go and watch the video. All right. Brittany says there's also Ambers. You mean like the Amber Alert? I think I missed what your comment. This good Lord. Brittany said this good Lord. Yeah, I like I said, go on YouTube, look up Limitless, and the title is Roy Williams Just Exposed This Secret Kelly Rowland Kept All These Years. And okay, you said no in Amber in the comments. Okay. See, I missed a lot. I was watching that. I'm sorry. Go and check it out. Let me know what you think. I mean, the little boy does favor. I mean, to me, he does favor, Camel Face. But I don't know. I don't listen. Hey, we're not gonna say he is, and we're not gonna say he isn't. We got to play both sides of the fence here. I doubt we'll ever know, because I mean, look at Ramier. He still hadn't gotten, his DNA test done with Jay-Z. So I mean, with Camel Face. So we'll see. Hey, but you all, thank you for joining me today for these 2 hours. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You all enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to go on YouTube and also check out Global Impact Wrestling CAW. We're gaining a little traction on there, just doing in the video game world, and so I'm proud of what Scott and all of them are doing over there with it. It's fun, and it allows me to get back to loving the pro wrestling business like I did before I got into it and found out what it was really about. All right, but before I go, let me thank all my gifters. Much love to you, bestie. Thank you so much, Tucker's mom, too. Jenny said prayer, please. Absolutely. We'll definitely touch on that. We'll definitely do that. We give it up to you and the rest of my mods. I appreciate it. You all do a great job. Phenomenal job. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Talking with JoJo. That's my bestie. Thank you so much for that. All right. We're going to go into prayer, and then we're going to close out the show for the day. Once again, thank you so much. I had fun. I definitely missed you guys so much, and I'm glad that I was able to get on here and make it through, and that we were able to cover these things. And like I said, we're going to keep going, talking with JoJo. We are close. Everybody, we are close to Puffy Jacket. I don't know. Do we need to wear like first down jackets? Do we need to wear North Face? What and I'll just play it. I don't know. Puffy Jacket is why I was saying that. But let's go into prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for giving us life. Thank you for nourishing us back to health and curing our sickness. Father, we know you are the true and living medicine there is. Father, we pray that you continue to protect us from all earthly harm and danger that we are constantly surrounded by throughout our days. Father, whether we near or far, we pray that you put it on people's hearts and on their minds to let them know that we are merely a message away, a phone call away, and whatever they need. If they're in help, to just they need help to just reach out to us, Father, because it still takes a village, Father. And Father, you told us in your great book to love thy neighbor, and that's what we want to do. Father, we want to say thank you for just giving us the strength to go on, the motivation to go on when we think that we no longer have the strength to do so. You bless us abundantly with it, and you see us through, and you carry us over that threshold. You told us you would never forsake us, God, and your love will be forever. And you've held true to that. And it is that reason that we will continue holding on to your unchanging hand. Just thank you, Father. And we know that saying thank you doesn't do any justice. It doesn't compare to the love that you give us. But that's all that we have, Father. That's all that we have is to say thank you. It's so great. Your love is so gratifying. We get to see your miracles every day. And we all know that that day is going to come where we bow down at your feet, Father. And it is my prayer, and it's all of our prayers, that from it we be able to dwell with you amongst your kingdom, Lord. And these things we ask in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Let us all say, amen. You all make sure that you join us back tomorrow. We're going to try to go again tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll have some updates to go over then. You know, it's just like it seems like it never stops. Like even as close as we get to that date, stuff continuously comes out, and it's just wild. It's wild. But thank you all for joining. You have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow, Lord willing. Peace and blessings to you all.